welcome back to another episode of the Music Cafe. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon or evening. I don't know where you're watching from, and time zones confuse me. But welcome. I'm so excited for tonight. We've got some new faces. We've got a legend who's popping inside. I'm so excited. I have a comment here. Hi, Christian. How are you? Thank you so much for the comment. And again, hi, Stu, one of our regulars. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really do appreciate all the comments and questions that you're always asking. Well, if you are new to the Music Cafe, let me explain the rules. Very simple rules. Number one, pick up your cell phone or your laptop, whatever you're watching this on, head over to the kitchen, make yourself a cup of tea or coffee, grab yourself a piece of cake, and then sit down and get comfy. This afternoon is all about chatting about the music industry. And we all love this industry. We all love the entertainment industry. So ask questions. We've got some legends here, people that know their stuff. They've been doing this for a minute. So ask questions, anything you need. And if you are a regular, thank you so much for joining us. And before I get going, I have the most amazing endorsee of this show. They are fame.org.za, and they are a group of lawyers that offer their time and their advice pro bono to South African artists that can't afford legal advice. So if you guys need legal advice, head over to fame.org.za. They're awesome. They always are happy to answer questions, everything. Even if you've got questions tonight, chuck them here. We'll be just going back and forth. Thank you so much. Thank you. Guitars and all, welcome. Thanks, Christian. Well, I'm gonna stop blabbing on because I get too excited about these things. I need to bring up our guests. I'm gonna start off with someone who I absolutely adore. She is one of the most incredible musicians that I've ever met. She's a South African legend. Her name is Cindy Alter. Hello, Miss Cindy.
Hello, Alexandra.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And thanks again for having me on. I'm sure people are getting tired of seeing this face.
Never.
Really.
What are you talking about?
I do love it. No, I love these kind of shows, and I love you, and I love what you do. So here I am with
You're
bells
so
on.
wonderful.
Ding, 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 ding,
I love it. You're so wonderful. I'm so excited for tonight. I know that you love to travel, and that's why our next guests are also incredible. We got someone who is all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Our second home, right, Cindy? Our second
home. Trust me.
And his name is Stephen Cade. Hello, Stephen.
How are you guys? Good to see you.
Great to see you. Good. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I so appreciate you tuning in and taking time out of your Sunday afternoon to be with us here at the Music Cafe. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. But our last guest also has traveled a bunch, and he is one of the most also incredible musicians I've ever come across. His name is Frits Gunn. Hello, Fritzy.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Amazing. That's great. We've got some comments. I got to get to these. Well. We're good. I'm so good. I'm good too. I'm so happy to be here. We've got some comments coming on. Hang on. I agree. It's cool. Oh, talking about the background, and we got a bunch of comments. Stu is one of our regulars, and Christian is one of our regulars, and also is part of fame.org.za. So I'm really excited for tonight. We've got a lot to get through because all of you have been in this industry a minute, right? You guys kind of know your stuff. And I know we've got a lot to talk about with regards to how COVID is treating our environments and our cities and our homes, and how careers are shifting and changing, and new music and all the above. So I can't wait to get into all of that. But let's start with an intro. So Cindy, will you kick us off with a hashtag Tinder bio version of who you are?
Tinder bio. Well, I'm 7'5". I'm skinny like a bean. Okay, that's my Tinder. No, sorry, oopsie. I always try and scare them away at first. So I've been a professional music for the past 45 years. I've been very lucky to have been in this business all these years, and also even more than that, I realized very recently that all the stuff that you do, you accumulate along the years that you've been working. Doesn't matter how old you are or young you are, whatever you've done is kind of, it's set in stone. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can say it never existed. You've got either tracks out there, you've got albums out there, you've done shows, you're on TV, you're on YouTube. It's all there to be seen. And I sometimes get really down on myself and I go, you're not doing enough. You're not out there enough. And I do this thing with myself. I wonder if anybody else does it. But I do, possibly. And I suddenly realized during this lockdown time, especially because no work, nothing, suddenly everything just stopped, my whole life, which has been of a musician's life and traveling and touring and at least working 3-4 times a week, suddenly went plonk. And I just looked at it and I went, oh my God. So the panic was the first thing. And then suddenly I looked and thought, wait a second. You've done so much. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a breath and just say, hey, let it all just hang there out in the ether. Whatever you sort of create from here will be new stuff. And from a new place and a new emotional and physical and the scary place as well. So whatever's going to come from this is going to be of value, no matter what it is. So that's me really just looking at my life and saying, I am so lucky to have been able to do it this long, to still be able to earn a royalty here and there this long, to still be able to play in a band this long, to still be able to write songs, etc., etc. So that is me. I am an absolute lover of music, and that's my bottom line always.
That's it. That is the bio right there. Hashtag music lover.
Music lover.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. I admire you for everything that you are, Cindy. You are honestly an inspiration. And when you talk, I just feel ready for Monday. That's how I feel, which I love. I just need you as my alarm every morning. That's what I need. I need Cindy's voice.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I can make somebody wake up. Whoa.
Oh my goodness. So I do admire everything that you are. Thank you. No, you're welcome. And so Stephen, you're next in this circle of trust here. So would you like to give everyone a hashtag Tinder bio version of who you are?
Yeah, well, so I was I'm originally born in Houston, Texas, lived in California. Now I'm in Nashville. I'm a modern country artist, singer, songwriter, performing, recording artist. I am a husband, a father to 2 beautiful kids. My daughter's 9 and my son's 12.
Oh, precious.
And, my wife is the most loveliest human being on the planet. And I have been able to perform thousands of shows. I've opened up for big artists like Eric Church and Carrie Underwood. I have been on multiple tours. I've been considered for 4 different. I'm actually being considered for a Grammy right now for a song called League of Her Own for Best Country Solo Performance.
Wow.
I mean, God has blessed me. I don't have millions of dollars. I don't even have hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I might have a few bucks in my bank account. But I tell you what, in my heart, I'm full. So.
Oh. Gosh, what an intro. That is just amazing. Wow, just incredible. We've got some hearts. Kaylee A is Kaylee, is this your wife?
Yes, that's my wife. Yes.
Amazing. I love that. That is amazing. What an amazing bio.
This right now, if I can have her share it, that'd be awesome. So there we go.
I love that, and I just love that you've during this time as well that you remain so positive about things. You've got this outlook, like with Cindy. It's about how you see things. Oh, hang on. I got a question. Just have to know, what is the Elvis Presley record behind you, Steve?
Well, that is actually, it is Can't Help Falling in Love.
Oh,
One of my favorites. Oh my God.
Amazing. Beautiful. Okay. Well, Cristiano is also a bit of a muso. What is like a crazy person?
Yes.
For music, he's one of those people. And we've got a comment from Stu. Hope you win a Grammy. That's amazingly cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stu.
That is incredible. Wow, amazing. What a nice bio. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I think you'd get a swipe right for that anytime. Oh, no, that's awesome. Okay, well, let's carry on with the circle of trust. And I'm going to hop to Fritzy over here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right.
I can hear you, Fritz. So, Fritz, do you want to give our viewers a hashtag Tinder bio version of who you are?
Well, I guess it's not been very successful since I'm still on there. Do you know something I don't? You guys have such a reputation, and now I'm here. Anyway,
what are you talking about?
What are we talking about? Now, I guess I've been in music and the industry, as we'd like to call it, since 2006. And in various capacities, like varying capacities. From doing acting and stage productions, and music for the stage productions as well.
Yeah.
Every little thing you can think of doing. Like recently in lockdown, I've been doing voiceovers and so on. It's fun.
That's so cool.
So I guess the whole idea of music is inspiring to me, just in any sense. Whether it's making a noise in the kitchen while you're making, I don't know, breakfast or something. But yeah, so critical acclaims, I don't really think I have those. I only think I'm as good as my last song, if it makes sense. And
yeah,
that's about as far as it goes. I'm still about this life, and I still think to myself pretty much every day, why and why not. But I wouldn't do anything else. Really, I will, but I'll never stop making music.
Yeah, I think that's the reality. That I think in some way, music is something that is just part of us. It's in your bones. It's in your blood. It's who you are. So you have to. This is how we express ourselves. But I actually wanted to just say something. It's the wrong way. Not that way. It's that way. Cindy, you said something, and I just want to hop on that since we've got some amazing bios in this room. And you spoke about sort of taking it in and realizing that just this is the way that life is, and now whatever you create going forward is just going to be what it is. Yes. And I actually had a friend speak to me. He's in musical theater in South Africa, and he just sort of said something which I think impacted me. It was during halfway through lockdown or so, and he said that he's had to move back in with his parents because he can't musical theater. There is no such thing at the moment. So he's had to move back in with his folks, and he's not able to pay any rent or take care of himself. Right, he's got his savings account, but that's what he's got at the moment. And he said that he's had to realize that this is not his fault. This is not his fault. This is nothing to do with him. He's been successful in his space. He had contracts lined up, and this is not his fault. And it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to not have everything worked out at this moment in time. I think as life starts to unfold, we're able to organize our diaries a bit more, and which is always great. Our calendars are starting to fill up a bit more. Yes. But at the end of the day, this is not our fault, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay just to settle in to where we're at, and whatever we create out of the space is going to be what it is, and it's important to somebody out there that's going to hear it. So I actually wanted to start talking about how COVID has had an effect on your careers when it comes to gigging and live gigging, because I think that's where most of us really do have an income. So I'd like to start on the other side of the world. Stephen, if we can start with you. I know in Nashville, I love now. It is honestly my second home, and it breaks my heart that places are closing down. Douglas Corner is closed. It's so sad. Bluebird, I don't think it's open for public until next year, and It's so sad. What is it, as someone on the ground, boots on the ground, what has it been like for you in Nashville, Franklin, around that space? What has it been like for you in the gigging space, and what are people's feelings like at the moment?
Well, I can only speak. I do have a lot of friends that are gigging musicians. I remember it was March 15th, and I was playing at the George Jones Museum, and I was performing, and it felt like people were running for the doors of the world. Like if it felt like people were just exiting, like a mass exodus. I felt like I was in a Twilight Zone, because there was nobody in the bar. People were freaked out. But this was before they said you cannot have live music. This was just like a day before. So I remember, and they were already saying things, you know, there'd already been, the news was out, the coronavirus is out in the world. It's, you know, they're closed down the borders and everything like that. But still, you know, they let the musicians kind of play out a few shows. And I was kind of like, it was my last show. I'll never forget. It was on the rooftop of George Jones. And so from that time on, it was like, we can't play music. We can't sing. We can't make money. And so that was when I went straight into doing a lot of live streams with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And that lasted about a month, because then what happened was, as you know, everybody started doing that. Yeah. So it kind of made it just didn't have the effect anymore that it did right at the beginning. Right. Yeah. Everybody felt sorry for the musicians, because they're like, wow, they can't play anywhere. So let's help them out. Let's watch their live stream and donate and tip them. But then it just was like, after about a month, it became like, well, I've seen this, already a dozen times. So in a live setting, it's always different. As you all know, so many things are happening, but you get to at least engage with the audience physically, right? I mean, somebody could be 3 feet in front of you. You can high five them. You can, play the guitar right there with them, whatever it is. You can't do that like this. This is the most sterile way to entertain and to get that interaction. No, I mean, look, this is what we got.
It's so true. It's seeing those double taps, those hearts, just isn't the same as like an applause. It's not the same.
Yeah. At least you get it.
Say, So, but now I'll tell you what, for me, I know for the first month, I was a little freaked out, to be honest, just like for the first, because I didn't know, and no one knew how serious this virus could be, or it wasn't, right? No one really, they didn't know about all of the herd immunity. We didn't know about social distancing. We didn't know about remdesivir. We didn't know about vaccines coming out. I mean, we didn't know anything about this stuff, right? So, so it's like the only thing I felt like, look, I've been very sick before. I had encephalitis, meningitis when I was in my 30s. And I basically said, I know what it's like to be very ill. I almost died. And so I know what an infectious disease is. And I know that they can be very dangerous. So, for the first month, I was cautious. But then after that, I was ready to go. Like literally May 1st, I had my first show at the Commodore. I don't know if you guys have ever sang at the Commodore.
Yes, I love Miss Debbie.
Debbie's awesome. So, and I was like, and there was only 3 people that were allowed in addition to the songwriters. So I was ready to go right away. And there were a lot of my friends who weren't and still aren't. A lot of my songwriter friends, they're still at home, and they're like, I'm not leaving until a vaccine comes out, and I'm not leaving until it's proven that it's going to defeat the virus. End of story. Yeah. And so, but I'm more of like, man, I mean, we're all going to go sometime. We're all going to, that's something that's going to happen. It's inevitable. I mean, unless they invent the time capsule, and that, unless, Einstein and Sir Isaac Newton figured things out, and they just left it in somewhere for us to figure things out. We're going to have, so I want to go out brave. I want to go out courageous if that's the case. You know what I mean? So, I think that's now I've been just performing and not consistently, not as nearly as yesterday. I did 2 shows actually, but nowhere near as many as I was prior to March 15th. That was, so yeah.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. And I totally relate. I think it was about March 15th-ish, if I remember the date. I was supposed to be heading over to Canada and then to Nashville on the Monday, and then President Trump spoke on the Sunday before the Monday, announcing the shutdown. And I was supposed to leave on the Monday, and then our president announced a lockdown on that Thursday, and I decided to postpone, obviously. And it is crazy because I'd built up gigs. I'm sure we all had up until that point. I've been playing and making money so I can get overseas and write and come back and carry on doing life. And since lockdown has sort of lifted up a bit, I've played maybe 2 or 3, 4 gigs in 7 months, and it's crazy. So it's just as bad over here, and it's very sad to hear that both my homes are in this space. I mean, Frits, I know that you've traveled a lot in the past. You've traveled all over. And you've also now mentioned that during COVID, you started sort of learning a new skill, doing voiceovers, which I know is a whole new skill because it's talking in a different way. And I did that years ago. So like hats off to you for actually, because I can't do it. They tell me to speak like a princess, and I'm like, I don't know how you do that. So yeah, I mean, I know you can do that, Frits. So ask my sister exactly. So Frits, what's it been like for you? I mean, I know you've been traveling a bit around South Africa, a bit like sort of doing off-road out in the wilderness things. But what has lockdown been like for you, being in South Africa?
I came back from New York like 2 weeks before the borders closed, kind of thing. Well, a little bit more, like 2.5 weeks or something. Not quite sure, but I mean, when I was in New York at the time, the first cases were in New York already by that time. But I mean, we didn't know anything. But I don't really know how to put it differently, but my year was very badly planned. Like this thing that happened worked out really well for me in the sense that I felt like exactly what you say. Once you get past the anxiety and you climb out of the wardrobe where you were sitting and thinking, how am I gonna deal with whatever is happening right now? It feels like the end. But once you get over that, you realize that everyone else is in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a big disconnection for me at this time with I guess humanity in general. I don't want to get too existential about it, but the thing is, I have some sense of social anxiety. I don't really like going out into the places where I don't know, where the heat is generated by the people's bodies, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It's just no, I mean, I went out 2 nights ago to check out a friend's show, and I didn't stay long. Obviously, I love his stuff, but it wasn't the thing. I guess I'm just not ready for it. And it's not that I'm afraid. I think that I made music for the wrong reasons, honestly, and that's what I discovered during lockdown. Yeah,
that's interesting.
I would think that I'm always honest with myself to a very large degree, but I haven't been writing in such a long time. I thought, let me go to the US to clear my head. What a weird thing to do. But it's good to get like perspective on things, and when you change your geographical location, sometimes it just happens,
Definitely.
Also, yeah.
So then, when it comes to the writing, so when you were in New York, and did you get any writing done? And then, bless you, and then, it's so funny. And then coming back during lockdown, have you done any writing? What has the writing process been like for you? Has it been more like pouring out your soul, or is it talking about COVID, or are you just writing for whatever you want to write?
I don't really know. I think I've been thinking of narratives and this kind of thing. So I'm building up a lot of material, but I'm not putting anything together. I think, and you guys have been at it for a lot longer than I have, obviously, or we have, 2 of us. I mean, if you think about songwriting, if you take a song, you would want to run with it for, I guess, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. I don't know what. No, and you kind of have to. It's either a testimony of where you were at the time, or maybe it's a prophecy. At some point, you realize that maybe this was more than what I initially thought it was about.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And I guess the moment you release something out there, it's not yours anymore. You know, it reflects, the people reflect that back to you, and you see
Yeah.
something else.
Very true.
So maybe I get lost in all of that. I'm currently studying, so I've also been putting my energy into that, studying environmental management. So
Wow.
so I find that relevant at this point.
Definitely.
And making music, I think, more for the shits of it, you know. I like doing things with my brother and doing things with friends, you know, working on collabs and things. I like when it's a collective effort, when I can see I can be part of just a cog, because being a front man or a face, I don't know, it puts a strange kind of stress on you that I guess we deal with because that's what we do. But
It's very true.
being out of, like, I did a few live streams, but like Steve said, you know, after a month, it's all been done before, you know. And it was the case for everyone. Like, everyone did live streams. You got a bit of cash rolling in and so on. It was a good experience by itself. I mean, but then after a while, it also went. But no. So I have a lot of ideas, obviously, and I'd love to actually just get back to working on it.
Yeah.
But working with people on it, you know, that kind of thing, because it's been the great. I lock myself up, and I really like being with myself.
Yeah.
Now getting back into it, it's gonna be an adventure. That's all I have to say about it.
So that's all I gotta say about that. Who is it from? Forrest
That's all I
Gump.
gotta say about that.
That's all I gotta say about that. No, I think that's so true. That it's I love that you speak about a collective, because there's a word that always comes up on the show, and I love this word. It's the word team. Who'd have thought, right? And team isn't just a manager and a publisher and a publicist. And listen, that's not all. A team is also the circle around you, the people around you the people that you surround yourself with, that encourage you, that help you put across your story. And as a songwriter, you're not always the person that puts forward that story, but you're the one that wants to get it out there for the world to see, and to have that team. And I know Frits, everyone was going to check out Fritz's music, because it is honestly amazing. And then your brother, Faraway George, I always call him, like, what I call Close By Henry or something. Faraway George.
Curious George is what I
Curious George. Faraway George, also great music. The two brothers, and together you two are electric. There's something about siblings. There's something about siblings and voices, family. That's something very special that you must always treasure. Honestly. But I love what you speak about, just the writing process, and it just being about pouring your guts out, and just writing the story because it needs to get out there. Because I think that at the end of the day, we are creatives. That this is how we talk. I suck at writing diaries. I can't keep a diary, but look at my songbooks, you know exactly what I'm going through. And so I actually want to talk about the streaming for a hot second, because I know we had a Christian from fame.org.za on our show last week, who just spoke about the streaming and Facebook and everything, where it's going. And I just want to ask Cindy, if when it comes to the streaming, I know that you did a couple of streams for Jukes South Africa, which is like an iTunes, Spotify, but it was for South Africa. And they were fantastic. They were like at the front, supporting artists, paying them for their half an hour gig. They were amazing. And I know you did a few of those. You've also got your own show on Discover TV as well, a weekly show, I think, as well. So what's it been like for you doing these live shows? Has it been a bit draining? Or is it just something that just keeps your fire burning? What's it been like for you?
At first I thought, well, if this is the medium, then I have to use it. And I did use it a bit. So my TV shows is a different thing, because it's a TV chat show, and I talk to musicians and music people from way back to now, you know. Basically, it's called Where Are They Now? So that's a different platform for me. That has been amazing, because I'm talking to these people, you know, so I've got somebody on there with me. had a hard time also, as Stephen was saying, that disconnect, with audiences. I mean, we've always had the audience in front of us, and we do this thing and talk to people and wink at them, and I don't wink. I don't wink. I don't wink.
Sure.
I'm not a winker. I'm a wanker, but I'm not a winker. No, sorry. Okay, let's stop right there. Okay. So
so funny.
But I found very quickly that it was just a saturated, diluted medium. Everybody was doing it. Everybody's asking for money, and I felt, it's a bit desperate. It's a bit, it wasn't for me. I just felt icky about it. As I said, I did a few things. The Dukes things was lovely because, they paid you for a show and you had your 30 minutes or whatever it was. I just did all my best songs and stuff. But I really felt like that streaming thing was very difficult. And it didn't feel authentic to me. That's the main thing.
Right,
it didn't feel like, hey, I'm really there for you and look at me and doing my songs and I'm real. It just felt like I'm just doing this because everybody's doing it. So I just didn't feel right about it, to be honest. And if, say, in some weird crux of the universe and no gigs ever came back and this became our medium, I think I would struggle very badly with that.
I think what you say there is very true, that and you said at the beginning that it was this new medium. This is how the world is constantly evolving. We've gone from playing live to vinyls to cassettes to CDs to downloading it from Lime Music illegally to who remembers Lime, and then onto iTunes and Spotify and platforms like Dukes, and now that's even evolving now as well. Like it's just constantly. So it's how do you keep up with that, and how do you adjust, and how do you sort of move with the tide, but still stay true to who you are, and how you connect to your audience that love you and support you and love your music and love your stories. But I think so there has to be a balance where it definitely has saved during this time. It's definitely saved people.
Absolutely.
Not only financially, but I think just sanity, knowing that you're able to play your music and play it. So I think there's a benefit. But then, like with everything, there is obviously there's the other side to it, and there must be a balance. And I think that streaming going forward, personally, I'm like Frits, where I'm just happy to be at home in bed with my dog, watching Netflix, eating ice cream. Like that. That's like a Saturday night for me. Happy days. Like I'm good with that. Like I gigged last night, and I'm like, I had a great gig, but I'm tired.
I know.
But I totally
get that. Yeah,
I get that. So I think
exactly what you say.
No, so streaming's definitely got its place for that, and it makes things accessible. And look at what we're doing right now. We're connecting from 4 different parts on this globe. We're doing that, and there is synergy here. We're all able to draw on each other's experience, and we're all in the same boat, like Frits said. So there must be that balance as well. But I do get what you're saying. I do miss, like I said, last night I played a gig and I played 3 sets of 45, and I was like, back to my old days. And I had people dancing in the front. I whipped out my achy breaky heart, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. And it's so good. It's so good. I love that. At the same time, I get where, like Steve, I like, you want to go out brave, but you also want to be cautious. So it's like that balance. But yeah, I think I almost feel like it's been an interesting space, and hopefully as the world starts to go back to some sort of normality. I don't like to say the new normal, because normal speaks about before. We're in the new now. This is it.
The new world order.
The new world. I like new world order. So we're in the new world. Okay, hang on. We've got some comments here. Firstly, Frits Christian has said, yes, please speak in your speak in a little princess, speak like a princess. There we go. This has to do with the voiceovers. And then Christian is asked this question here. The amount of, let me read it here. The amount of new music I personally discussed during the lockdown via streams, discovered perhaps, was amazing. So streaming did allow many artists to expand their reach, but nothing can replace the experience of a true show. So it's so true. You're able to suddenly reach a whole nother audience that you never thought you would. And perhaps at the same time alienated some that don't know how to work technology, but whatever it is. So there are pros and cons to it all, and it's this new world, it's a new space. We're gonna have to learn how to sort of work around this thing. But let's talk about new music, and there's somebody in the corner over there that I want to speak to about a little Grammy nomination. Just a little, just this tiny little thing. It's such a small little thing, right? Like nothing big at all.
Well,
Stephen, please can you talk us through? Is the song called "A League of Our Own"?
Right.
Please, can you tell us about the song, when you wrote it, when you released it, the production of it, and like what's happening now? How exciting!
Yeah. Well, when you come to Nashville and you're a songwriter, you just can't wait to dive in and just start writing with the most talented songwriters on the planet. And one of my friends, who I consider a dear friend, Eric Halbig, was a co-writer, and also Joanna Yeager. So we sat one afternoon, and it's just like we all get together. This was pre-COVID. Thank God, we met physically, and there's just something about writing. It's such a contrast from writing like this or writing in person. I still vote for writing in person. I still say this is the best. We could get things done, but there's nothing like feeling that energy from somebody in the room. You know what I mean? So this song, I came with them and I said, look, I have this title. It's called League of Her Own. And this is, I love to write about my wife because she's so beautiful, and it's very simple. It's very easy for me to do it. Plus, it's just a good thing. It's just
write about what you know.
And so she's a mom. She used to teach algebra for 7th graders for 15 years. She's actually my manager. She is just the most beautiful woman in the world. And so I thought she was kind of in a league of her own. And so the song started to take shape in the room, and we started to, the first words was, she's 90 degrees, a summer day, front porch rocking chair, lemonade. She's a walk on Main Street, window shop doesn't stop. She has what she needs, and so it was kind of like mixing a Sophia Loren and Madonna with like a country sort of very, mix. Right? And so that's what my wife is. She's a mom. She'll walk and she'll take hikes. She'll sit out at a farm on a porch. But then if you take her to Rodeo Drive, she can also do that because she was a model and she did that. So it's kind of like the mixture.
Wow.
So anyways, the song got recorded by Eric Halbig. He produced it, and Eric Torres, who did Jimmy Allen's Best Shot, mixed it. And I had Mike Proctor do some vocals on it as well, in terms of mixing the vocals. I just had a wonderful team. Andy Hull was the drummer. And so I've been a Grammy member for about 7 years now. So to be a Grammy member, as you all probably know, you have to qualify, just like if you want to qualify for college or something, right? You have to have certain credentials to get in.
Yes.
So, and then there's different levels. You can be a voting member, or you can just kind of be a Grammy member. Submit songs, you have to be at a certain level. So I've submitted songs, and like I said, this is the 4th time I've been considered and put on the ballot. And right now I'm on the first ballot, which is basically has 119 entries on that one best country solo performance. And there's people like Willie Nelson, Dierks Bentley, Cam, Keith Urban, you know, just the biggest names that are out there. And then you have some emerging artists that are trying to break through the veil, right? Because the up and comers are trying to have a voice, you know, because it's a very, very, very big wall to jump over when you have people like Jason Aldean or Kenny Chesney or Tim McGraw or Darius Rucker or Jake Owen or Dustin Lynch. I mean, we can go on all day, you know, but to get through that and become a name is a tremendous, it's almost like trying to put a camel through the eye of a needle, as the Bible would say. So to be in that first little phase for me is a giant confirmation. Yet again, even as many years as I've been doing this, confirmations are what keeps me going, that you know, that I'm doing the right stuff. Because believe me, I've asked myself many times, is this what I should be spending my time on? Because I could go manage Walmart, or I could be a doctor, or I could be a, you know, scientist, or a dog keeper, or dog walker, or whatever it is. I don't know. But I chose music, and it's my vocation, and I think it chose me to a degree as well. It's what fills me. It's what completes me, I think. And I think at this point, it's almost like when the plane lifts the ground, you know, you get off the ground in the plane, and there's no turning back at that point. You can't say, oh, I'm going to get off the plane now. They're like, no, you're not. You know, so that's kind of how I feel like about. Yeah, but it's an honor. It is an honor to be even on the first ballot. And I hope if I may, so the process is there's a second round, which it narrows it down to now, like, you know, maybe 30 or 40 or something like that. And by the way, you have to be a Grammy member to vote. You can't just, not anyone can just vote. So you have to be industry, maybe a radio personality, maybe a successful engineer. Initially, you're picked by a panel of people who are like Juilliard graduates, Berkeley graduates, extremely successful artists that sit on the panel of the Grammys, because it still is the coup de grace of all award shows. It still trumps all award shows because it is including the whole world, right? So the CMAs are great, and that's like the big CMAs are wonderful. I'm a member of the CMAs, and I'm a member of ACMs as well. But when you get to be in the Grammys, that's like a whole other level. You know? So
it's everybody's dream. We've all had that dream. If I won a Grammy, ...
Right.
You know.
Right. Well,
no, but that is honestly amazing. Sorry.
When you win a Grammy, you'll be able to sort of walk into more opportunities.
That's
right?
it. That's it. More opportunities, and just stay on the path that we've chosen.
Yes.
And be able to stay on for longer because I can afford to pay my rent.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness. No, but how incredible. Like, just to be sitting in this music cafe with you is honestly amazing. And I know it's all of our dreams to do exactly that. So to see that you are achieving on such a high level, just honestly, it is amazing. And your stories, people are connecting to your stories, and that is, I know as a songwriter, that just must feel just people love your storytelling, and they're able to connect to that, and they're able to take that on and make it their own. So absolute all the best for how long until you know anything?
October 12th is the end of the first round ballot.
Okay.
Then we go into second round, and then then you're just one of 6 that are nominated. And once you're nominated for a country music category, because country music is still up and coming, it's not as big as rock or pop or rap. It's still not there. But the good news is the trajectory for country music still looks very good in terms of the world accepting country music, because it's a niche still. you know, even though it's crossing platforms now with people that are, you know, getting more interested in the audience, you know. But at the end of the day, it's a story, right? It's like, that's the most unique thing about country music. It's the story that a specific story that, you know, and you know, it's not like abstract, like pop can be sort of whimsical and abstract, and you know, like like Adele can sing "I Set Fire to the Rain," or I'm just throwing a, you know, whatever, right? And you don't know exactly what she's talking about. Roughly, you might know. You can relate, but you don't know it's a specific thing. That's country to me. It's pretty cool.
I love that, and I have to say this because I think we all do. I've dabbled in the pop, and I love country, pop country essentially, and I'm going to tell you the story why I love country music. And I've had people ask me this question, and I think a lot of people think country is, you know, and diddle straw hat, and that's what people think it is.
Yes.
For me, country music is that in the early 90s, 91, perhaps 92, 91, my dad bought that middle guitar, and it's an Ibanez. It was built in the late 80s in Japan. It's an Ibanez, and he built it, and it cost him 3 months' salary to pay it off. And he bought it because he wanted to play worship in church. And then a couple of years ago, I started playing that guitar, and it's one of my favorite workhorses, and I play it in church as well.
Oh my gosh.
That's country music. That is country music. That story.
That's a song.
Yeah.
But I know we did. That's it. That's country music for me. It's the story. It's something that makes you go, oh, yeah. And I bet that we can all in this room say there's a story. That is it. I know, Frits, you've done, you sort of play this country crossover. You play also incredible music. I just love this. Should we just go around the room describing what country music is to us? Go for it, Frits.
Well, so for me, there's a lot of. That's the word. I have to translate that shit.
Oh, Afrikaans. You gotta speak right into your mic. I can't hear you.
It's a sentimental thing, right? So I
yeah,
like the sentiment, and I like sometimes it's not really layered as much. So what you see is what you get, and that it's kind of the same for me with. I don't want to say it's a fading kind of peoples, but you know, for like. What we would traditionally understand as farmers in South Africa, the kind of that community.
I
would say less sarcastic people and more just again what you see is what you get. Honest, it's an honest kind of.
I love that. That's exactly it.
That's it.
What you see is what you get.
I like the guitar riffs.
And the guitar riffs. We all love a good guitar riff. And I love a good guitar solo. There's nothing wrong with a guitar solo, a banjo, or a fiddle solo. I don't care. I love it. No, but it's so true. It's just honest. I love it. Cindy, I know you are country rock alternative. You've also done, you've also with Clout, with a band in the back in the day, you also very pop as well. So I know you love storytelling. So what is then country to you?
The funniest thing that before I joined Clout, I was about to do a country album with Trevor Rabin. Trevor was working he was a brilliant composer and stuff, but he said, your voice is such a country voice. Let's do something. And then I joined Clout, and I became this pop star, whatever you want to call it. But I've always had this love of the heartstrings that get pulled, the feeling that gets pulled, that story, that down home, clean, honest kind of thing, that you can say things like butterfly kisses or something like that, and it sounds so good, and it makes you cry. You know. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's real to me, very real to me. I love rock. Rock is great. It's very real as
Oh,
well.
it's fun. Yeah.
Pop music is fun and real and it's all thing. But I don't know what it is about country music. And when I was living in America, I was heading, all my writing was going more and more to that way. And then I was about to move to Nashville and I got ill and I couldn't move. But that was always a thing that I wanted to live there. And even if I was writing country rock or country pop or whatever it was, it's always had a place in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that story. And I love what you say about it can be the title, Butterfly Kisses. And it does make you feel something like the title, League of Our Own. It says what it is. Like for it, it's what it is.
And it's going to be something, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, even Girl Crush.
You can hear it.
You hear that word girl crush and you go, what's that all about? And it's so clever. And it's like, wow, you know.
So true. It's so true.
You want to hear about the girl crush, eh?
Goodness.
But
we
not
have
from a guy.
We have a question here from Mark Lee, who's also one of our regulars. A lot of folks don't like to be characterized by their genre. How do you feel about that? Genres are sort of being blurred, and you can sort of be pop country versus country pop versus modern country is three different things. Rock, country, again, all different meanings. Let's go around the room. Frits, what do you think about that statement? Let me bring it up here again. I mean, do you believe that genres still exist, or are you just like music? What are your thoughts?
Okay.
I have to blow my nose.
What genre?
Just genre.
Thank you. Did you unmute me?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I see. No, you have to look at, if you simply look at your Spotify, your Spotify playlist, I think that kind of defines all of us. None of us really listen to anything
Spotify
specific.
defines you.
But it does.
I think none
So
of us
he's
really
right.
listen to the same thing anymore. It's mood set. It's kind of more like now the narrative needs to fit into the how current the moment is. Yeah.
No, I get that.
But I'm stuck in a genre pretty much. I try to get out of it because it's not necessarily the genre that I listen to, but it's the one that comes out first.
Yeah, just it comes out of you naturally. Yeah,
and it's too much effort to, I guess, learn different chords because it's not who I am. So no, but really, so I feel like maybe there was a time where I felt like I really need to be better than this guy and that guy, and you know what, and then I think one morning I woke up and it was my birthday the day before or something, but I'm like, I think I'm older now. Don't have to do that anymore. You can just be yourself. It's fine.
I love that. Oh my goodness. Stephen, what is it for you? What is this comment like? What do you think about that?
I think that I've wanted to study country music more so. It was an interesting, this gentleman says country music is blues cousin. I started researching and I started looking into Maybelle Carter because the Carter family was of the first family to be recorded in country music in Bristol, Tennessee. And so if you look back and you watch the progression, really of the Grand Ole Opry, by the way, it was the 95th anniversary for the Grand Ole Opry last night.
Wow.
And,
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I think that, and they actually let people in. They let 500 people in the audience, which was amazing. And Vince Gill was, of course, the guest. And so, there's something to be said about that history of country music and where it comes from, and then how it's progressed. And it's progressed because I think the attention spans of people have decreased. So you've got this, this wave. It's almost like mathematically. Unfortunately, it started off as a short song, but with simple instruments, simple sounds. But now it's a like a short song, but with all these really cool loops and effects and reverse cymbals. And Disney came in and just, waved a magic wand over everything, because Hollywood really, as you know, Cindy, has the glitz and the glamour.
Oh yeah.
And the drama.
Yeah.
And so it's come into country. It's made its way into country music, and it kind of started, really ushered in a little bit by Garth Brooks and a little bit by Taylor Swift when it's the shift. But before that, there was just Waylon and the Boys, and there was, there's Roy Acuff, and there's a lot of guys, John Prine. There's a lot of people that just were, that were just simple country storytellers that picked the guitar. And you got Earl Scruggs. I mean, you've got so much history in that. But now it's the sounds that are different, I think, mostly. And even some of the messages are crossing over a little bit. It isn't so much about the farm and the hard life on the farm, because that's what country, it was talking about, life being hard. If you think about those old songs, and it's a little bit depressing, but it's real. Okay. And so, that's what I see country music in terms of its genre. You got, like, I see somebody, contemporary country music, pop country music, modern country music. What in my opinion, really, those are all synonymous with each other. They can, it's just, to me. So yeah. No,
that makes perfect sense. And for you, Cindy, what is this comment? Do you agree with what's pretty much being said around the room?
Well, the comment was, how do you feel about being characterized by your genre or whatever?
Sure.
I mean, I've been in all kinds of genres, from starting as a little country singer. I opened for Bobby Angel when I was like 18. So I was a country singer in those days. I used to do Bellamy Brothers and all that stuff, Linda Ronstadt and stuff like that. Then I was a pop singer. And after the pop singer, I became a cover band queen. I had my own band and we were doing covers. Then I went into one of the first multiracial bands in the country, a mixed band, doing African beats, Bakanga beats, with pop and rock melodies and rock guitars.
Wow.
Okay. Then out of that, I left and I went to live in America. And that's when I found Cindy, the songwriter, who didn't have to write for anybody else but herself. Okay. And when I only was writing for myself, I only wrote for myself. And the fact that people related to it was fantastic. So I was a singer-songwriter. That was my genre. So I'd already been country, I'd been pop, I'd been an African Zulu crazy woman, I'd been a singer-songwriter. Then I came back to South Africa and put my old band together, so I became a pop queen again. And then I started a country band with this other guy, Stuart Irving, and we had a country band in South Africa, which was very difficult because nobody really got the genre. And now I'm writing Cindy Alter songs again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
and people get it. And people get it.
I don't care who genreizes me or says, "Oh, you're a this or you're that." So I've been everything, darling. I've been all of the above. And what do you like best? I like everything. And what do you want to be? I want to be everything. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. The songs I write now are, I don't know, maybe a little bit of country, maybe a little pop, some rock. The stuff I'm writing now is just kind of a mix of stuff. But you cannot characterize someone like me. And I don't think, unless somebody is doing a specialized thing. Listen, man, I've always been an alternative punk rocker, man. And that's what I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I'm happy for you. And so on. So I'm sure they don't mind being characterized in any possible way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we all do what we do when we do it.
Oh, it's so true. I love what you're saying, because we've actually just got a comment here, and it's very interesting. This comment came in before you said what you just said. I remember Miles Davis, the great jazz musician, just want to be classified as a great musician, and I actually kind of like that, because I agree. If you've got your heart set on a certain genre and that's just who you are, then that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing, and I totally get that. But if then you just love storytelling and you don't mind what glitters put behind the storytelling, then you want to be known as the songwriter. I mean, if you look at someone like Dolly Parton,
yes,
we know who Dolly is through and through, and she probably runs this country. Like, that's the thing. She probably runs the world, but we just don't know it. Like, she's one of those people, right?
Sure.
And you never know what she's thinking. But she wrote a tiny little song, sung by Whitney Houston, and just tiny, I will always love you. She wrote this silly little song, right? But she wrote that, and you hear her version, it's beautiful, but it's not even. It's not played in country music. It's played. I mean, how Whitney did it was the opposite of how Dolly did it, and I think that just proves it's the story. And I think good songs are good. It's a good
song.
That's it.
You could do it any old way. Sorry to interject here, but look at all the mishmashes that are being done now. Oh, they're all taking the old stuff and they're making it all cool and putting hip hop beats on it and all that. If it's a good song, it's a good song. And you can do it any which way you like, and it'll still be a good song.
Yeah. And that's exactly. I'm a member of NSAI. I'm at the Nashville Songwriting Association. I'm actually one of the South African coordinators. And their slogan is hashtag, it all starts with...
It's all about the song. Yeah. All starts with a song.
And on that beautiful note, that harmonious 4-part harmony note, let's play some music. Are you guys good to play some music? Should we do that?
Let's play some music.
Amazing. Okay, I'm going to, if you guys have your guitars, gather yourselves, pull yourselves to yourselves. Let's do it. I'm going to explain so everyone knows what we're about to do. Anyone watching, if y'all don't know what a writer's round is, I'm about to explain it to you. And Stephen, he lives in Tennessee, so if I say anything wrong, he'll be able to correct me. If it's changed over the last couple of months, please correct me. But in New York, LA, everywhere around the world, you'll know about an open mic. That means you pretty much rock up to a venue and you sign up beginning of the evening or the day before, whatever their rules are. You play your song and then you hop off. A writer's round is very similar to that, but in my opinion, way cooler, because in Nashville, Tennessee, in every single bar, on every single street, on every single block, there are writers' rounds being played at every hour before COVID, at every hour of the day. And how it works is there are usually 4 or 5 girls or guys all plugged in on stage or plugged in with their guitars, all mic'd up. And in turn, they sing for an hour, and it's usually original music, and they tell their stories. As songwriters, we talk way too much. And they tell their stories and they play the music for an hour in turn. When they're done, they get off and the next guys get on. And so since we can't necessarily play in real live writers rounds, I guess, properly, where we get to jam in with each other and do harmony. I love it when somebody picks up on your music. I love it. We can't do that here, but at least we get a small taste of what a writer's round is. So, Stephen, is that all still up to date?
Yeah, that's all good. You hit it.
Amazing. Right. Amazing. Well, let's start this round. I'm going to ask Cindy to kick it off this way. Cindy to kick it off, and then Stephen, Frits, y'all know the drill. I'll end off the round, and then we'll end off the show after that, which is very sad. We'll end off the show after that. But let's do a beautiful writers round. Cindy, you know how this works.
Thank you. I wrote the song a long time ago, but I've been bringing it in again and singing it again because a lot of people have been dealing with addictions, talking about alcohol and other stuff. And this song was written about a fictitious guy that I knew. Fictitious. And it's called Danny. So sort of about that stuff, you know? Danny went away when we were just about becoming friends. He took off across the water. He said he couldn't stand another winter here. He just about froze his hands. So he took off across the border. And I watched the seeds rolling in. And I watched the waves rolling out again. And I hold his flowers in my hands. Danny, don't worry, I'll look after them. I went up to the house today and I was looking through some papers and forgotten boxes filled up with stormy weather. I went into the basement and found some bottles there lying in the sand. Bourbon and branch water. Oh, and I watched the seeds rolling in. And I watched the water rolling out again. And I hold your bottles in my hand. Danny, don't worry, I'll look after them. Sometimes I feel like I'm not alone, and I think there are times that you haunt me. Well, have you conquered all your demons? And did you find the choices easy? And I watch the seeds rolling in. And I watch the waves rolling out again. And I hold your heart in my hand. Danny, don't worry, I'll look after it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you
Love
very
it.
much.
It's stunning. It's beautiful. When did you write that?
I wrote that in LA, like 99.
No.
Yeah.
I love those. There's something incredible about music that just it sort of sticks around, and there are always those songs that just stick with you, right? That just tell a story, and they sort of bring them. They rear their head every now and then again. Oh, we got claps from Christian. What? How beautiful. Okay, well,
you.
Stephen, you are next in this round.
Okay. I'm always fascinated how you all have an accent, but when you sing, you don't.
No.
Yep.
We all
Biggest
sing in an
criticism.
American accent, darling.
Yeah. When the songs come over the ocean, they
Yes.
also have an American accent. So we just
Yes,
cover them the same.
exactly.
That's what I told them in the States. They're like, listen, great, but why do you sing American? I'm like, good question. Very good question. I should be more like Cindy,
Good question.
Zulu or something. I don't know.
I love it.
I'm going to play you has been recorded, and it's going to be released. I'm hoping in November, and so my daughter would come up to me. She's 9 years old, and she'd say, "Hey, Daddy, can you come outside? Can you ride bikes with me, or play Barbies, or build a puzzle with me?" And I would say, like, look, I'm busy right now. I'm like, trying to make ends meet and trying to put some, food on the table, get things done. And so it would break my heart to tell her that. And she'd say, well, Daddy, can we play a little later? And I'd say, well, sure, we can play later. And she said, well, do you pinky promise we can play later? And I said, absolutely, I pinky promise. So I'd give her the pinky promise, and she'd say, well, then you can't break a pinky promise. So I said, all right, I get you. So I wanted to sing this song and just write a song with that sentiment. So I wrote this with Justin Love and Troy Castellano.
I love Justin.
Yep.
Such a great dude. I love him.
I love Justin. Yeah, I was just with him last night. He's awesome. And so we came up with this song, and it's just, I think it's just going to be great. It's recorded already by Ilya Tashinsky, and it's being mixed by Aaron Chmielewski, and it's great. It's amazing. So I'm going to share that with you. It goes a little something like this. Seems just like yesterday when I was holding your little sweet hand. Wasn't gonna miss the chance to take you to our first daddy-daughter dance. I've shown up late, I've missed some dates along the way. I've made mistakes, I even made your little heart break, but you love me anyway. I'm just learning as I go. It's hard to admit when I don't know when it's right, when it's wrong. Maybe it's taken me a little too long, but I'm here to tell you now, I never ever want to let you down. I'll keep my word, cross my heart, and when you wish upon a star, I'll always be the dad you can trust when you need someone who's honest and keep every pinky promise. When you're finally driving on your 16th birthday till the day that you graduate, I'll be standing right there beside you when you say I do on your wedding day, walking you down the aisle, tears in my smile. You're so beautiful, all dressed in white. Might take me a while to say goodbye, locking fingers one more time. I'm just learning as I go. It's hard to admit when I don't know when it's right, when it's wrong. Maybe it's taken me a little too long, but I'm here to tell you now, I never ever want to let you down. I'll keep my word, cross my heart, when you wish upon a star. I'll always be the dad you can trust when you need someone who's honest and keep every pinky promise. Stronger than my words could ever say. I'm just learning as I go. It's hard to admit when I don't know when it's right, when it's wrong. Maybe it's taken me a little too long, but I'm here to tell you now, I never ever want to let you down. I'll keep my word, cross my heart, and when you wish upon a star, I'll always be the dad you can trust when you need someone who's honest. I'll always be the dad you can trust when you need someone who's honest. Yeah. And keep every pinky promise. I swear I'll keep every promise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness. I've got comments here. Firstly, Christian is saying that, wow, this song will hit every parent close to the heart.
Yeah.
I think it'll hit. I think it's. I love that it's so relatable. It could be for you're speaking to a sibling. It could be speaking to little friends that friends, kids, whatever. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait for it to be released. I already can't wait. Amazing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for sharing that with us. And by the way, because we had Justin, I love Justin Levin. We had him on a couple weeks ago, and he's definitely made an impression. He's still in our minds, so he's one of those guys. So
Yeah.
amazing. No, and what a beautiful song! Wow, absolutely incredible.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Frits, it's your turn.
Can you guys hear this? It's fun. You can hear the guitar.
Can you turn it up a little bit?
Singing.
Turn it up like by
try
like
a
half.
bit.
Like turn it up by half. Turn it up by half. I just whack the volume. Turn it all the way
Oh
up.
my goodness, I don't know what happened to this thing, but
That's better.
Yeah. Oh, my dear, won't you lend me your time? I don't seem to have a watch on mine, and everything seems so messed up from where I stand. And I wanna say you're the first, and I wanna dance in reverse. I want this moment to never end, no, never end, no, never end, no. I wanna say you're the first, and I wanna dance in reverse, and I wanna nail the way back down, oh, back down, oh, back down.
Oh, beautiful.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Frits. That was beautiful. I love that. There's something about alternative chords. You threw that. I noticed when you did that, Stephen went,
Yes. Yeah.
We got some comments here. Well done, Mr. Gunn. Love that.
Thanks.
So cool. So I'm gonna end off this round. I'm gonna do a song that I wrote with a wonderful lady. Her name is Jane Buck, and she. Do you know Jane?
I do know, not personally, but I know of her. Yes. Mm-hmm.
She is honestly, she's been doing this a minute as well, and she's written hits for Reba McEntire and all those alike. So she is honestly amazing, and I love her to bits. And we've written a couple of tunes, but we wrote this one more recently, and I just kind of I had this sort of hook thing in my head, and I said I want to do this, and she just took it, and she's one of those amazing writers that just sort of takes on what you are saying and puts it into something else, and it's just incredible. So this song is called Don't Stop.
Uh-huh.
Can you guys hear the guitar right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Don't stop taking up my time. Don't stop, boy, loving me blind. Don't stop, you got just what it takes to make my heart go boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you do. Oh, you have me twisted, wicked, but this is something different. Your love has me reborn. I am transformed back to innocent. This ain't too complicated. It's everything I've waited for, and I want more. Yeah, don't stop taking up my time. Don't stop, for loving me blind. Don't stop, you got just what it takes to make my heart go boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you do. Do 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 do. This time ain't like last time. I'm trying to find trust again. You make me feel like it's the real deal, and I should just give in. This ain't too complicated. It's everything I've waited for, and I want more. Yeah, don't stop, taking up my time. Don't stop, boy, loving me blind. Don't stop, and you got just what it takes to make my heart go boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you do. Do 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 do, ba da 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 do. Do 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 do, da 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 do. Do 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 do, do 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 do. Do 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 do, do do do. Don't stop, taking up my time. Don't stop, boy, loving me blind. Don't stop, and you got just what it takes to make my heart go boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you do. Do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do, da 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 da. Do 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 do, da 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 da, da da do, do 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 do. Yeah. Oh. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got some comments as well.
Fun,
thank you. Yeah, there's nothing like a good old like just blues, and it's like 2 chords.
Yeah.
3 chords. Who would have thought, right? I love that.
Right.
You're singing it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You guys are singing the hook. It's good, right? That's a good sign. Thank you.
Good hook, man.
Well, this has been honestly one of the coolest rooms I've been in, just because there's so many different types of what we're talking, different perspectives, but all this synergy, which I love. And I think that the important thing is that we all get it. We're all in the same boat, and we have to keep encouraging one another and being there for each other. And even as long as the music wheel is turning, then we'll all have success in it. So we have to just keep that wheel turning. And I think, Stephen, like, just good luck. Good luck for the Grammy. You said the 12th of October. That's like in a week and a half, right?
Power.
So
October 12th or something. Yeah, but yes.
Honestly, amazing. And like I would we're in the same room as you. Like, how amazing is that?
Oh, you guys, I feel the same way about you guys. Honestly, it's I'm just thankful to be invited, and you guys are all talented and wonderful people. So
Thank you.
It's been a really encouraging and blessing, honestly, to me.
Wow, thank you so much. How amazing. Well, guys, I like to end off every show with pearls of wisdom.
Yes.
And I know we've spoken about sort of a little bit of everything, to be honest, but if you have something to offer, just an up and coming artist or someone who's just feeling a bit down, whatever it is, a pearl of wisdom is a pearl of wisdom. I know that you all have beads and necklaces of pearls, but if you can offer something, Cindy, if you want to start, and then we'll go to Stephen and then Frits. So Cindy, you can start with that.
I always say my only real pearl of wisdom is that if you're going to do this, do it because you love it, not because you think you're going to be a superstar overnight, because that might not happen and you're going to be very disappointed. So do it because you love it. Do whatever part of it that makes you feel good. Like Frits was saying, you know, he's doing different things and this is part of it. I think that's fantastic. You know, do whatever tickles your fancy. You don't have to listen to your parents always and get the law degree, son, and then you can play music on weekends. You know, it's a nice hobby, but it's not going to make you a living, which is so true.
Exactly.
It's so true. But I would say whatever you do in this life, you know, we only get this one that we know about. So follow your heart, follow your passion, be real to yourself, be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the best kind of advice I can give. That's it.
It's good advice. It's good advice. Thank you so much, Cindy, for coming on and sharing your love and your passion. It's addictive. So thank you so much for coming on tonight.
It was divine. It was divine meeting all of you, of course, and Alexandra. You always do these amazing things, and I'm always happy to be part of it.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, Stephen, it's over to you. I know you also have just necklaces and necklaces of pearls. But yeah, do you have pearls of wisdom that you'd like to share, the secrets that you'd like to share with people watching?
It really kind of dovetails into what Cindy was saying. I mean, I think saying it just a little bit differently, only in that some people are born with the natural gift and talent to be an artist in some shape or form or fashion. Whether you're one of my good friends is Wyland, who paints whales on the sides of buildings, and he's like he's an amazing environmental artist, and he's made this giant name for himself. But I mean, he was born to draw, and so everybody you may be born to act or born to sing. Everybody has their own their talent. But it's when you take your talent and try to make it a vocation, and when you try to feed your family with it, this is where the rubber meets the road. If you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride, as David Allen Poe said. This is not for the weak. It's not for the weekend warrior, in my opinion. You can always, I know a lot of musicians that are fantastic musicians that just play in their home. In fact, my wife can read a piece of Bach music and play it, and she's a musician. But to go out and actually make an impact for people, to do something, and then also to pay the rent or pay your mortgage, to pay your insurance through music or whatever your art is a whole nother level. And it requires, it's the same thing. It's like you wouldn't want your pilot doing a lot of moonlighting when you're flying across the ocean, right? I mean, or you wouldn't want your brain surgeon doing moonlighting or side hustles when he's operating on your brain. So I look at it like the same way as an artist like Miles Davis. More than likely, Elvis Presley, Miles Davis, Willie Nelson, we can go, the list goes on, Barbra Streisand, whoever these people are, right? They were laser focused on making their art and craft the best, and no one was going to stop them from doing that. And so I would just urge that any performer that's thinking about jumping in and saying, okay, look, this is 2020. People change careers like you change your socks now. It's not like it was when I was a kid. You became a plumber, you became a doctor, you were a baseball player, whatever it was you were, and you were mostly that for the rest of your life. Nowadays, tomorrow, I could wake up and do something different if I wanted to, because of the access we have to all the information in the world. But I still feel like there's got to be something in the soul that says, I want to do this because I love it and because it was meant for me to do it, and I don't want to waste anybody else's time while I'm doing it. I don't know. I think that's something to be said about music. It's just and art. Again, let's talk about just art. If you're in Broadway, like you said, your friend loves doing Broadway, or if they love to act, and we've all probably been blessed to know different forms of artists, right? So that's my little pearl there for you.
No, what you just said just like hit me in the gut. Like it's so true. And what was that line that you said? Don't waste anyone's time doing it. Yeah, don't waste anyone's time.
Right.
That is so true. If you're gonna do it, be all in, and that's it. And don't waste anyone's time. I think it's so true.
Anyone's time, right? I mean, because time is so precious, right? I mean, we only have the tickets. The days are counting down. I mean, tomorrow after I leave this, it could be any moment, right? Any time. There's no
Yeah.
The Bible says, teach us to number our days. So it is true that we are to be thankful for every moment and to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're learning about wisdom, funny enough, in church, and a lot of wisdom in Proverbs and the things it talks about in that. So, yeah, I don't know. I just hope mostly people want to pass something down that's beautiful and inspiring to people, whatever it is,
that has a lasting impact. And I think one of the first lessons that I was taught, like I was as a kid, my drama teacher told me, and she made me this poster and I had to stick it on my bathroom door, and I had to look at it every time I was in the bathroom. And it was that you're not a performer until you make your audience feel something, which is a very simple thing to learn when you are in grade 2 or 3, whatever grade I was in. But it's so true that it's not just about me just whacking something out there. It's don't waste people's time. You're doing this because it's a gift, and you want to pass it. You want to pass it on to somebody else. So, yeah, what you just said hit me. Yeah, hit me good. That's it. That's for sure. Right there in the gut. Just amazing. Well, Frits, you're next in this, and we've got a comment here from Christian as well. Bring on the necklace. So, Frits, what pearl of wisdom would you like to offer us? Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Are you frozen? What's going on?
Frits?
Come on.
Oh, there we go.
Back?
You're back. Sorry, you froze. You were so stuck in this position. I thought, wow.
There's some things that became, I guess, obviously very important during this time of celibacy or whatever we want to call it, for in the years to come, and that's internet connection, and a stable one. So,
It's a pearl of wisdom, indeed.
Stable internet is a privilege.
Get a good internet connection, son.
I think to try and summarize it for myself, really, I think it was evident how useless and, I guess, important at the same time something like financial security and money became during this stuff, whatever 20 was. And it's interesting how governments became important, the structures that we use to secure ourselves in, and that which was weak at first, it was really tested, the systems or whatever it is, and the people as well. I mean, our relationships were tested, we were tested in ourselves, and I think, if you as a creative, and I believe that's everyone, I believe it's every person taking a platform and believing that they have something to say, even if they don't necessarily believe that they are worth saying anything. I look up to people who just the honesty doesn't lie, and I think that's the thing in art. A great song goes all the way, but if you're honest in what you're doing behind it, it's gonna go all the way. I don't know. So I guess chasing money or whatever the agenda is, it's important, I guess, at the end of the day, but the virtues and who we are internally or with our peers or whoever, or I believe that those things surpass the monetary gains, if I want to get into that, in the long run. So if you love hope and you love loving, and you're okay with people and you love your environment, then you don't have to love money. That's just my opinion.
And you're okay with people. That is the hashtag for today. If you're okay with people. No, it's very true.
If you don't mind me asking, what is your nationality?
Who's this?
What is are you I don't know. Are you
South African?
You're South African. Okay.
Do I sound Spanish?
No, sir. Yeah, sorry.
And this is a compliment, and please take this as a compliment. But I don't know. Have you ever heard of the tennis player Rafael Nadal?
Yes.
Well, you kind of have some of his mannerisms. I don't know.
Oh, really?
and some of his, I can see, I don't know, just your looks kind of look, but I don't know. I thought maybe you were Spanish or from Spain or something. Anyway, that's a compliment. He's like, he's a good looking guy. So there you go.
I'll take it.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. That is very. Oh, we've got a comment here. Speaking of following all four of you on Spotify now, and we'll look for you on other social platforms. Oh, thank you so much, Mark. That's very kind.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what an awesome show. I think there's just been. It's like Christian said in the comments, bring on the necklaces, like just pearls and pearls of wisdom here. Honestly, I mean, your grannies just must have given you pearls, So Frits, waiting for that princess voice still. What an amazing show. Thank you so much to all of you for just spreading your love and your passion about the industry and honestly, if thank you so much for just your wisdom as well. And anyone that's watching, if you have any questions for anyone around this room, drop me a DM and I can pass on information as well. So just Alexandra May Music, I will pass on questions or anything that you'd like. But you guys have been honestly amazing. And Stephen, thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon. I know Sunday's a special day, so
thank you
for taking time out.
Thank you so much for having me. And great meeting you, Cindy and Frits. I really hope our paths cross when you get to Nashville. You guys you got me. So let me know. Okay.
Come to visit.
Well,
write some songs.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm so happy. Oh my goodness, this makes me happy. You guys are all
That's what this is all about though, Alexandra.
Oh, it's so true.
You're connecting people. I mean, I've never met Frits. I don't know who Stephen is, they don't know me. And it's just beautiful to meet new people in our industry or wherever they are in the arts and the creatives. Yes. And we are bouncing things off each other. And bottom line is we all think the same, really, when you think about it.
Oh, it's true. Oh, it's very true. Very true. But amazing. Thank you so much to all of you. And Cindy and Frits, I know it's also late in the evening as well. So thank you for coming on and being part of this. You guys are awesome. I miss your faces. I do miss your faces live. And Stephen, I feel privileged to have heard you live as well. So thank you to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and enjoy the week coming. So have a good one, guys.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Thanks to everybody that was sending comments and stuff. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Bye. Bye. What an amazing show. Isn't everyone just amazing? I love Cindy. I love Frits. I think Stephen is absolutely incredible. And again, Stephen, good luck for the 12th of October for the Grammy nomination. Absolutely incredible. You guys have been awesome. We still have comments flying in. Thank you so much, Kade. I do appreciate the comments. And Mark, send everyone to Talking Upstream, other shows. Okay. And so if you guys want to catch more on IBM, tonight was great. We got comments tonight was great. I always look forward to the show. Thank you so much, Stu. You're awesome. Wow. So awesome. You guys have been awesome. I'm so excited for next week as well. And so, gosh, there's nothing else to say. But stay safe, call your loved ones, and I'll see y'all same time, same place next week. Bye. I ain't no typical girl. I ain't no typical